Hello friends, today in this tutorial we will be talking about Brain.js. Basically, this is the machine learning JavaScript framework in order to train certain kind of train sets, and basically you can run artificial intelligence inside your browser using this nice little library which is I will be talking about in this tutorial, which is called as Brain.js. And we will be taking an example using Node.js, guys. So we will also be uh, basically, first of all, we will install this library as a Node.js package. So it is also available as a Node.js package as well. So if you go to npm.js, just type here brain.js. This is a package which comes here, and it's very much useful for neural networks. In order to train certain kinds of data, you can pass string data as well, you can pass numeric data as well. You can see this is weekly downloads of this package, 5,906 weekly downloads. So the beauty of this package, guys, beauty of this library Brain.js, it's a GPU accelerated neural networks. As you all know, guys, neural networks takes a lot of time to train a certain kind of data, and it computes a lot of resources. Now to run inside the browser, it can make use of the graphical processing unit that is present inside your computer. So this library can make use of GPU as well, and it can both run it inside the browser and also at the Node.js as well. So specifically in this tutorial we will talk about how to run this inside your Node.js. So this is a simple command you need to execute in order to install this Node.js package inside your application. So you can also follow my blog post, guys. I have written a complete step-by-step blog post instruction, and I have also given the full source code in the description of this video. So please make sure that you go to the description of this video and read my blog post. And now we will start this project, guys. So we will make a new directory which is neural, and we will go into this directory cd neural, and I will now open this directory inside my Visual Studio Code text editor. So basically, guys, you will see that it is now currently empty. We need to create a package.json file for us. So we will simply initialize the Node.js project npm init-y. So this will create the package.json file with the default options. Now we need to install this package, guys, which is called as Brain, BRAIN .js. So this is the name of this library, guys, Brain.js. So it is just going to install it. It just need to give 5-10 seconds, and then this will install inside your package.json as the dependency. So it has its own library, guys. Website. If you go to brainjs.org, this is the website. I think I misspelled it. So just go to Google and type here Brain.js. It's a very famous library for neural networks in JavaScript, and you can see it's a GPU accelerated neural networks in JavaScript for browsers and Node.js. So documentation is pretty good, guys, and it's a very good alternative to TensorFlow. If you don't use TensorFlow, if you feel that library is slightly complicated, but you can use this library. It's very simple, modular structure, and it's very easy to train the data sets inside this library. Good community support is also there. And now basically, guys, if you see inside package.json file, our dependency section is having this brain.js dependency which is installed here. And now we can simply make our index.js file, guys. So first of all, I will simply show you how to pass the numeric data like 0 and 1 binary data that is the machine can understand. So first of all, guys, we will import this module. We will require this Brain.js at the very top. And now, guys, we will be making this neural network here. So how we can make the neural network programmatically inside Node.js. So we will declare this network variable. And here, guys, you will basically instantiate a new instance of this Brain.js library. And it contains this method which is called as, you can see very different kinds of neural networks are there: cross validate, feed forward neural networks. So if you have a slightly more understanding of neural networks, you will obviously know what I'm talking about. So the very basic type of artificial intelligence networks is called as neural network. You can see also new recurrent neural network GPU activation layer also. So if you use this neural network GPU guys, so if you have a GPU installed inside your PC, I am also using a custom graphical processing unit, so I can use this method. So basically it will make use of your GPU. And if you don't have a GPU, then you can simply use this method, neural network. And now this will create the neural network for you and store it inside network. And now guys, we need to train the network here, train the neural network. Basically inside artificial intelligence, you need to give some input data so that your neural network will be ready. So there is a simple method guys which lets you train your data, so neural network. And this has a method here which is called as train method. You can see there are various methods are there: train async, train options, train patterns, tick. So basically you need to go to the documentation of this library. It's a very complex library. If you want to research, if you want to build complex applications related to artificial intelligence, definitely try your Brain.js. And inside this guys, we will train it by simply passing an array of numbers. So this will be an array of objects. So the first object here will have two properties. As you all know guys, in neural networks we have a input and we have a output. So here we need to provide a input here first of all. So inside our input, this will be an array. So input will be an array here, and then we will have a output. So two properties will be there guys. So you can just train your data set here. So I can simply take an example 0, 0, 0. So this is our input guys. So we are just typing the output here. In this case, the output will be 0. So you can just take this data accordingly to your choice. You can make your own data, train it, and accordingly this data will answer those questions depending upon the data that you have provided. So in this case we have taken 0, 0, 0, and the output should be 0. And then we will again take another input here, and this time the series will be 0, 0, 1, and this time guys the output will be 0 once again. So what I am doing right here guys, basically I am taking a series of numbers here, 3 numbers, and the result will be always the first number. So in this case 0, 0, 0, the first number is 0, so that's why the output is 0. In this case the first number is 0, that's why the output is 0. So you can just see the pattern here. So again we will have another input here. Basically we will have another input which is called as 0, 1, 1, and this time also guys the first number is 0, so that's why the output will also be 0. So now we need to repeat this for the ones as well. So we will simply repeat this for the ones as well. So this will be 1, 0, 1. So this time the first number guys in this series is 1, so that's why the output will be 1. Again you will put another data set here which is input. This will be 1, 1, 1. So that's obviously will be output will be 1 because all the numbers are 1 here. So the first number is 1, that's why. So now guys we will basically ask a question to this neural network. As we have provided enough data to it, we have provided, you can see first, second, third, fourth, fifth, we have provided 5 objects each having 2 properties, input and output, and depending upon this data set guys, now this neural network will answer some questions. It will give someone probability of what happens when we ask the questions. So we can now test our neural network guys. We will store the result inside this output variable, and here we will have a simple method of run. Basically here you can run your test here inside your neural networks, and here you need to pass some data to it. So what kinds of predictions you want? So I want the prediction to be what happens when we pass the data, which comes out to be, let's suppose the pattern is 1, 1, 0. So what happens when this value is there, 1, 1, 0? So obviously the first number is 1, So the output will be 1. So basically it will give you the value which will be closer to 1, like 0 0.8, 0 0.9. This will be the output. This will be the preferred output. Let me see if I run this application, console log output. So now if I run this application, guys, in the command line, if I say node index.js, so now it will give the probability. What is the probability? It should be 0 or 1. So now, guys, you can see it is giving the probability, which is, you can see that 0 0.9, which is approximately equal to 1. So this is the probable answer it is giving you. You can see we have provided these parameters here, which is 0 0 0. The first number was 0, so that's why 0 was come. Again 0 is 1 0 0 0. So this time this is 1, so it is output is 1. So the first number is 1, so the output is 1. So that's why it is giving you this answer, which is 0 0.9. So let's suppose I change my output to 0. So now what will happen, guys? Obviously you will see this pattern is not present here. 0 1 0. If you see, 0 1 0 is not present, but here the first number is 0. So now it should give a number closer to 0, like 0 0.1 or 0 0.2. Again, if I run this, you will now see it will give 0 0.06. You can see now it is giving approximately, it is shifting its goalpost towards 0, because the first number here is 0, and depending upon the data that you have given right here, it probably thinks that the output should be 0. So that's why it is giving you this floating point number closer to 0. So this is the basically the basic example of how neural networks works, guys, in the background, how artificial intelligence works, that you see modern applications predicting whatever is the future depending upon the data that you have given to the different kinds of machines. So these things are running in the background. First of all, we train them with some input data, and after that they run some test and they answer the questions. So this is very simple example that I've given. So you will obviously say that this is just a very waste kind of example, nobody uses that. So it's a very correct statement. We need to just build out some substantiate application to this. So now we will be looking at, basically, guys, we will now be fetching a data.json file. We will create this inside the root directory, and here basically we will define some array of objects which will be in string formats, not in this numeric format, which is 0 comma 0 comma 0. So nobody understands these numeric characters. So in real life scenarios, basically we train the neural networks with string letters. So here we will define some kinds of a basically text, guys, and let's suppose I define the text here. The second property will be there is category. So based upon the text given, we will predict the category. So this is the thing we will do. It's an array of objects, sorry. This is array of objects. So each object will have two properties. First is the text and second will be the category. So here you can give, let's suppose I give here, you can give any text accordingly, and my favorite sport is cricket, so I will give examples in between cricket and tennis. And let's suppose I say bat and ball. I will say the category belongs to cricket because cricket is played between bat and ball, so that's why. Now we have another text, guys, so we will say slip fielder. You can see that. Now again, slip fielder is again present inside our cricket, so that's why category is cricket. So now if I say, guys, basically the text is, let me take another sport here, and I say here let's suppose I take the second support to be, let's suppose, fight, WW fight. So, or I can say, I can take the example of tennis here. So racket, stick. So racket is involved inside our tennis. You can see that. So this is very basic example that I'm telling you guys. So based upon that, you can provide as much data as you want inside whatever things that you see. So you can write the players names as well. Djokovic, best player, like this. So we are just category is tennis, and let's suppose I give this text here, a famous player. Let's suppose I give Virat player, and here we will put the category as let's suppose cricket. So we have provided some data to this, like this guys. You can see that bat ball cricket, slip fielder cricket, racket stick tennis, and one more example I need to provide for the tennis category. So we will provide a text here which is called as, let's suppose we some things used inside tennis. I say clay court, like this, category tennis, and let's suppose one other text here I give to tennis, Grand Slam 1, and this is also Grand Slam is present inside tennis, so that's why. So you can see that guys, we have given the, let me make it smaller here, tennis and tennis and tennis. So you can see that we have given enough data to the inside of a JSON object. So obviously this data is not enough in real world applications. In real world applications, you'll give a lot of data, millions of rows of data, so that your predictions can be correct. So obviously, as more the data, correct will be the prediction. So data is really important. You need to give enough data for the neural network to perfectly train and then answer the question in a artificial intelligence manner. So now basically guys, we can now import this JSON file for our second example. This is very easy, and now let me show you how we can do that. We can again import our Brain.js library right here at the very top, and then guys, we need to, for our training data, basically what we need to do, we need to first of all import the data that we have defined, which is we need to require this data which is present inside data.json, and then guys, we need to initialize our neural network. This time this will be neural network which is of that kind, recurrent neural network, which is long short memory. This is the one. So we need to initialize like this, brain dot recurrent, this is the one, recurrent dot, and this is long short term memory here. This is the one we are using here for this example. And then guys, we need to give the training data here. So we again will giving the training data. This time we will use this data coming from the JSON file, and then we will use the map method. Inside map, it basically changes, it creates a new array depending upon the data that is given to it. So inside this item here guys, we will make again the first property of this training data will be the input. So input will be the actual item.text property that you have defined inside data.json, and the output will be the category. So here we will put the output will be item.category. Sorry, you can see we have initialized this. What is the error taking place? Let me see. Oh sorry, yeah, I'm missing this. So what happens, let me copy this. I think I have made a semicolon mistake here. Okay, now this is done here guys. We have provided the input and output, so this is equal to item.text and item.category, which is mentioned inside data.json. So now guys, we need to train the data, and basically we will use again this method train, which is there. And basically guys, this time we need to provide the iteration value as well. So how many iterations you want to give. So we will first of all provide the training data like this, and then this takes an object here in the second argument, and basically it takes the number of iterations that you want to perform against the neural network. So this value, it takes its iterations. So normally inside a neural network base, which is basically very good, you need to provide millions of iterations, but for this example, basic example, I will take a lower value of 2000. So we will provide 2000 iterations of this data which is present right here. So in the background it will do, and after that we will ask a question, guys. So we will test our neural network by running this using this run method, and basically we will simply give some kind of a text here, text value, and this neural network will basically, depending upon the text given, it will predict the category, whether it's cricket or tennis. So now we just need to give a text. So we can just give a text which is not mentioned inside this data.json. So let's suppose I make my own text. So let's suppose I say Kane Williamson is the captain of New Zealand, and he fields, sorry, I can write, he fields at the slip position. So it's very interesting, guys. You can see Kane Williamson is not present inside data.json right here. Virat Kohli is present, but Kane Williamson is not present, and New Zealand is also not present right here. You can see that. And slip position, basically I have given this slip keyword here. So not all of the text is present. So this is the advantage of using neural networks. So basically if you give any sort one word, and if you train this neural network, and in the future ones, if you provide the different words which are not present, it will detect it. So now if I just console log the category, which is a category here, if I console log the output, so now let me run this application now. So you will see node index.js, the category. It will take some time for the iterations to come, guys. So you need to simply wait for some time here, 5 to 10 seconds. It will do its own processing in the background. So it depends upon how many iterations you provided. I have provided 2000. So depending upon that, it will take some time. So it will make use of your GPU as well, graphical processing unit, if you have enabled that. So I think it failed. I think it didn't give our output. So our test was failed. So I think I need to not give this large text here. It also depends upon how many lines of string that you give. If you give a really large string, then it needs to compare with a lot of iterations. So it will take a lot of time if you give a large text. So let's suppose I give here slip fielder. So obviously now this is present inside. Slip fielder is cricket. So obviously the category must be cricket here. If I just run this now, again it will take some time. So just wait, guys, it is just running here. So now you can see that, guys, basically it gave the category which is cricket. So now you can play with these characters, guys. You can just write here Kane Williamson fields at slip. So basically if you now give this right here, Kane Williamson is not present right here. Now if I again test it, so just make sure that your text is small, not a lot of text, because our iterations is very less here. So that's why it will not give the correct answer. So if you want to give large text, you just need to increase this iterations value. So iterations is very important in neural networks. So larger the number of iterations, the better will the neural network will answer your question. So just wait. You can see it is giving the category which is completely different answer. court tennis. So basically guys, you can see that it is giving me the wrong category here. Court. Oh, I think what it has done, you can see that basically it is very smart. Kane Williamson fields at slip, and basically it is giving me the, if you check the output here guys, what it has given, it has given me the cricket C and also the tennis T as well. So it is combined the value of cricket and tennis. So you can run this test guys inside your own machine. Basically you will be able to test out neural networks, and it has a lot of scope inside programming also, and this Brain.js makes it possible to run neural networks in the browser and Node.js. And it is a very complex library. If you want to make AI driven applications, you should definitely read the documentation. It's quite good and community support is really good. And in just short little video, I just wanted to introduce you to the concept of Brain.js, how we can train the data against neural networks in Node.js using Brain.js. So thanks so much guys for watching this video. Please hit that like button, subscribe the channel, and I will be seeing you in the next video.